Today, let's go over an easy question that came out pretty recently. So this is a pretty late one, and this is a similar question to one or two grind 75 questions. I know this one's a grind 75, so it's good to review. And you know that the constraints are pretty small, so it's pretty simple. So let's go over it. And I just solved this by myself a couple hours ago. So you're given a string of S containing only digits. So this is a string of integers, and they want you to find any pair and return it, which is defined as satisfying a constraint where the first is not equal to the second in the pair, because each pair is like 2 5, 5 2, 2 3, 3 5, 5 3, and 3 3. So this would not be it because the first digit is equal to the second. So the first digit is not equal to the second, and the digit in the pair appears exactly how many times the numerical value. So in this case, for example, 2 3 would appear. So if the count of the actual digit is equal to the frequency of the digit, then it is a valid pair. And you try to return the first one going from left to right. And at the end, if you don't, then you return an empty string. So up to this point, it seems like the language is a bit confusing, but if the digit 2 appears 2 times and the digit 3 appears 3 times, because 2 appears that many times in the whole string and not just the pair that we're looking at. I think that's what was a little confusing about this wording. So for example, 2 appears twice in the whole string, 3 appears 3 times in the whole string. So 2 3 is the first valid pair that we see, or one of them at least. So if we know this, then we can start coding it up. So let's get every single pair, which starts from this because we're going to compare the previous one. We're going to start here. We're going to compare the previous one. So if S of I is not equal to S of I minus 1, then that's a possibility, right? So 5 is not equal to 2. And S dot count, which is gets a frequency of S of I, is equal to integer of S of I, because a string needs to be converted to an integer. So if 2 appears twice in the whole string, then we're good, which it does. And S dot count of S of I minus 1 is equal to the integer of Si minus 1, which is 2. In this case, 5 does not appear 5 times, so it's not a valid pair. But if it did, as with 2 3, then we can go ahead and just go ahead and return the pair, which is Si minus 1 up to I plus 1, because Python goes up to not including this. So for example, if this is a valid pair, we're on 0 1 2 3, then you would return from 2 2 3 inclusive, which is 3 plus 1 2 to 4, because Python basically treats this as 2 and 3. So 0 1 2 and 0 1 2 3. So if you combine them together, you get 2 3. And at the end, if we go through every single pair of the string and we don't find any valid condition that satisfies the requirements, then we can just return an empty string, as with this example, because 2 and 2 are the same number, so there's no pair where they're not the same thing. So let's submit this. And as you can see, it's pretty efficient. It passes 100% of both runtime and memory. So pretty straightforward question. And I hope this video was helpful, and please stay tuned for more.